It's crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
I read a quote that says, the deepest parts of you can't survive constant explanation. The deepest parts of you can't survive constant explanation. You know those moments in conversation when something honest just comes out, raw and said. Maybe you're talking to one of your friends, your parents, or a partner, and you say what you actually mean, really simply, really clear. But you notice their reaction. You sense the pause, you sense the look, a slight shift in the room. And then suddenly you start explaining it. You start to over-explain it to them. You add more words, you soften the sentence. You add more words, you soften the sentence. And then you are trying to clarify what you really meant, which is nothing different to what you said. Not because the first thing you said was wrong, but because you're trying to make it easier for them to receive it. And before long, the clean thing that originally was said when it was undiluted now has become something about safety, something easier, but also something less true. Some parts of you were never meant to be perfectly explained. They were meant to be said once and allowed to stand. Remember this.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know what it is. It's Wholeness Wednesday. Guess who's back in the house, ladies and gentlemen, straight from South Africa. Yeah. Listen, man, I got a special turn-up song for Precious to welcome Precious back in. This is her second week back from Africa, but I feel like she was gone so long. Andy, do we have that special praise break music?
No cereal with the can, the powder, no waffles, no.
You guys, this song is actually for Zoe, okay?
Oatmeal, no sugar, oatmeal.
Oh my God.
Yeah, the powder murk. Yeah.
No murk.
We up in here, and that clip, Andy, do you know who that was? Randolph Matthews, very powerful clip. But let me just say this. This show is not to deter people from speaking their truth.
No, not at all.
Yeah, I don't want people to feel like, oh, he's saying don't talk. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we see you when you talking too much. We see you when you're performing. We see you when you're editing what needs to be said, and you're trying to say something pretty and flowery. No. That's what we're on tonight. Tonight's topic, with the legendary Precious Miguel in the building for Wholeness Wednesdays. Can offering closure equal mask exposure? See, because when you got to offer somebody you hurt, you caused a rupture. When you have to offer them closure, guess what comes with that? Accountability. Oh, but wounded people struggle with accountability. I'm wounded. I'm supposed to be a victim.
Right.
Oh, my God, it's about to be crazy. 1-800-920-1580. When you explain yourself, you reveal yourself. How speaking under emotional pressure can make you readable to others.
Very much.
Undeniable to yourself, and for some, turn closure into an exposure event that either enables repair or protects at your image's expense. Precious, why folk gotta go through all that? Why? Why? Give me the closure. Oh, you say closure don't exist. Talk to us about it.
Right. It's really that invisible bird, low flying, the ego, right? The ego, and let's separate those two things out. You have the ego from the psychological perspective, right? A widely accepted definition.
Right.
And then there's the ego from the spiritual perspective.
Yes.
When you're looking at the psychological side of things, you're thinking about the identity, right? That three-part id, the ego, the superego. And so this identity is your reality, but it's through your perception. Now, when you're speaking spiritually, you're talking about that part of yourself that is protecting you, that is steeped in your social image, that is the role identity that you have confused for self. This is why people try to protect it so much, because they're confused. You are not your ego. Your ego is designed and divinely designed to keep you blind from that part of yourself that is rooted in your radical truth, your soul, right? But the spirit allows it because it exercises that muscle of finding and seeing the self.
See, I don't think you guys understand just how profound of a statement that she just made. She just gave clarity to what people are oftentimes confused, and that is the difference between spirit and soul.
Absolutely.
Right?
It's the self and the soul, because the spirit is connected to the soul. And there's a part of us that wants to appear a certain way. And it's not so much about how you dress. It's more about what people think of you. You are upstanding. You have a good life. You tell the truth. You're a good person. Right? But the spirit is really the rawness of who you are.
Here we go.
And it can be seen in the mirror. that mirror that Murti speaks of, and so many other philosophers, great philosophers, seeing yourself naked as you are. You're in a monogamous relationship, but you don't believe in monogamy. The part of you that is in monogamous relationship is the ego-driven self, the camera reel for the people, right? The B-roll for the people. But that part of you that actually doesn't believe in monogamy and is always looking for that next connection, that's your authentic self. And we judge that part of ourselves instead of accepting it. Because in order to accept it, we have to tell the truth about who we are. That's painful for some people.
Oh, I love it. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't know who this is for, but it's for somebody. Somebody getting cooked up right now, and I love it. Some conversations don't resolve anything, but they reveal everything. When you walk in thinking you're about to explain yourself, clear the air, fix the distortion, maybe even find some closure, but somewhere between your first sentence and your third justification, something shifts. Not because they finally understand you, but because they can finally see you. You become spiritually legible. Ooh, there's another dichotomy. Spiritually legible. They see me. They can read me.
You're told off on yourself.
Now, see, a lot of people want to be seen, but then when they're seen, they see being seen as an attack. Because you're not healed. The healed person is okay with being seen. The unhealed person desires being seen, but isn't okay being seen. Like when that moment shows up, they're not okay with that, right?
Right.
You didn't tell your truth. You just read your resume. You started listing reasons, context, intentions, polished language, clean delivery, but underneath it all, something raw starts leaking through. Your tone tightens. Timing slips up. The body interrupts the script. You kept talking because silence started telling on you. That's the kind of closure we talking about. You done gave them the closure they needed by opening your mouth. What, Zoe? And now the conversation isn't about what happened anymore. It's about what's showing up in the moment. Patterns, thresholds, what you avoid. Have you ever heard somebody skip around an apology?
Yes.
They give you a universal template apology, but not address the real thing. You said some things, but because of what you didn't say, you revealed who you are. Talk to me, precious.
You know, the closure, what people are really saying is, let me give you a different version of myself before we say goodbye, unless we don't have to say goodbye. Right? That closure is the ego defense mechanism. It's hiding. It's unwilling to accept. You know, it's like a person that gets a small plate and fills it up about 10 times instead of just getting one plate.
Just get a big old plate.
Just get a bigger plate. You know, they want to be perceived as eating small. It's the same self that maybe will... Oh, I don't want to go too deep on the people.
Please.
But it's the part of the self that will latch on to the persona of the good guy or the pious good woman. When really you're something different. Doesn't mean it's not good. It's just you're judging it. So we're talking about radical self-honesty with the self. It's hard to do, but necessary. This is where ego death comes in. And people think ego death is a single, like it's a monumental event that happens and then you're free. Nope. You got to die to self many times as you grow.
No, you're not going to kill my ego. As hard as I work to build this ego up, listen. This ego shining, it's polished.
Yeah.
And but why is it such a difficult thing? Because they tell us we're supposed to integrate the superego, the id, and the ego together, because the ego is the moderator of the two, right?
Right.
So the question now becomes, how do you integrate all of these pieces without losing the identity the wound gave you?
But you're gonna lose the identity. You're gonna lose it.
I don't want to.
See, that's the thing that people, who am I without struggle and pain, is the question that people are unwilling to answer. Because the self that was created to be triumphant through that traumatic experience got busy building a self that people like, building a self that delivered you from poverty, building a self that learning the rules of engagement. But when you die to self, it's a new game. There are new rules. Nobody wants to feel like they're starting over. But there's something beautiful on the other side of that.
No, let's go deeper. Would you say that there's going to be struggle in life, ebbs and flows, ups and downs? So instead of saying, or maybe pathologizing struggle, would it be easier to change our definition of struggle?
It would be. What I do with people is change the concept of struggle.
Come on.
I give them the comparison of giving birth, and then see that you're giving birth to yourself.
Right.
And even if you've never experienced it, so whether you're male or female or somewhere in between, you can conceptualize the process of birth and imagine that it is both painful and hard, because at the end of this, should things be successful, you have new life and new self. So what I tell people is you have to learn how to push against the pain of your emerging reality. It's painful, but that's because you're judging it.
Gosh. You didn't tell your truth. You just read your resume. You didn't reveal your behavior. You just curated your identity. You didn't expose the impact of what you did. You listed your qualifications. You didn't take responsibility, you performed credibility. Gosh, you weren't honest. You stayed hireable. What in the world? Lord have mercy. When the voice of reason comes forward, we gonna keep this fire lit. It's Wholeness Wednesday.
The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol-Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
An official message from Medicare.
Couple more minutes, and we'll start this month's book club.
You know, I usually love a plot twist, but this year, I'm comparing my options during Medicare open enrollment.
You can't assume your current health or drug plan is the best one for you.
And you gotta make sure your drugs are covered. That's important.
So is saving money.
Review all your options at Medicare.gov. Open enrollment ends December 7th. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
If a Lenovo computer for your business is on your holiday list, don't shop around. Just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com. It's your last chance to get exclusive deals on the PCs you want for your business, like the ThinkPad X9 14 Aura Edition and Yoga 7i 2-in-1. So avoid all that shopping chaos and price comparing, and just go directly to the source, Lenovo.com, where PCs are up to 35% off. That's Lenovo.com.
Lenovo. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is dedicated to inspiring youth and resilience through storytelling, arts, filmmaking, and enrichment programs for youth and families in under-resourced communities and system-impacted individuals. The Michael's Daughter Foundation is a 501c3 nonprofit providing free and low-cost arts programs to youth and families from under-resourced communities, both system-impacted youth and those affected by the incarceration of a loved one. 1 in 43 children in America have a parent incarcerated. 70% of those children are expected to end up in prison. Through filmmaking, animation, theater, and writing, they help young people express themselves, build confidence, and imagine new possibilities. Beyond the arts, they offer financial literacy workshops, emergency support, and scholarships. Because thriving takes more than talent, it takes access. To learn more about the impact of Michael Daughters Foundation and how you can be a part of the movement, please visit their website, michaelsdaughterfoundation.com. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
She's a very kinky girl. The kind you don't take home to mother. She will never let your spirits down. Once you get her off the street, oh girl. She likes the boys in the band. She says that I'm her all-time favorite. When I make my move to her room, it's the right time. She's never hard to please. Oh no. Wild now. The kind of girl you read about. That girl is pretty kinky. I really love to taste her. Every time we meet, she's alright. She's alright. That girl's alright with me.
Most people are terrible communicators. That's the bad news. I think of it this way. Conversations are like potlucks. Much of what we put out doesn't taste nearly as good when it's in someone else's mouth. Just because we like our cooking doesn't mean anyone else will. So we have to decide if we're serving ourselves in conversations or if we're preparing a table for others. I was reading some research this morning, and it suggests that 36% of people globally are emotionally intelligent. And that's important because emotional intelligence is the foundation of effective communication. Self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management. That's what communication is all about. But many people don't have it. And it's why they mistake bluntness for honesty and wordiness for clarity. It's why they react instead of respond, and they speak without listening. This is how people communicate when they are not emotionally intelligent. The good news is that communication can be refined. Listening, speaking, rapport building, problem solving, it can all get better. Consider the analogy. Many people assume that because they can make some chili, they can cook. Just like we assume that because we can talk, that we can communicate well. But great communication isn't like a potluck.
We gotta turn Ryan off. That's one of my favorite meals to make is chili. Don't come for the chili, dog, because I make a mean chili.
Now, I'm not going to say nothing.
I just ain't made it in my house. But I'm just saying, I can make a mean... He said just because somebody can make chili don't mean they can cook. I took offense to it. It was a great clip. And he brought some clarity, right, to the conversation. You got a lot of folks that are in conflict in their relationship with their partner, right? This cycle of conflict.
Yes.
And they think just because they give context while at the same time burying their confession that they spoke up. Oh, how you gonna give context to what happened while burying the confession? You're conscious of the mask while being accountable? What version of accountability is that?
But it happens so often.
Why?
It's that social. So we biologically, psychologically have a need to experience our social self. So we want to appear like the rest of the group. And it's favorable to be likable or using the same voice as the collective, when most often that is not the case. People are afraid to. So you look at people who come out, use their truth, they get ostracized for it. That death is more immediate than actual physical death, right? The death of the social self. So people now, in the day of social media, will have a persona.
You are killing a persona in front of the persona.
Yeah, that's why you see these couples who people are like, I want to be like that couple, and then a few months later, one of them is murdered. The man is murdered. The wife or the girlfriend had been taunting him where's the departure between the ideal couple and there's a murderer in this couple? It's that ego wants to represent what everybody accepts and loves and sees and desires, versus I'm really insecure. I was raised by narcissistic parents. I'm not monogamous. I'm not, all the things that people don't want to accept about you.
Right. And then there's another less insidious version of it where I will perform in private with my partner who caters to my wounds. Now, for anybody else, this isn't who I am.
Right.
But because this is a one-in-a-lifetime wound butler, I'm going to act right.
That wound butler.
I'm going to act right. I know I don't really want to be here, but where can I find help like this?
Yeah.
Talk to me.
Yeah, where this is why I have supported radical honesty inside of relationship. You may not be saying what your partner wants to hear, but you are saying what they need to hear. Okay? So people are afraid of radical honesty. No, because then they're going to leave me. They've already left you if you're afraid of it. They're not there anyway.
If you scared, they already gone.
And what I'm saying is you're afraid of being left. And what I'm telling you is you're already alone, because nobody can even see who you are. You're pretending to be someone else. You're already alone.
Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the sweet sounds of the damn truth. You know who it is. It ain't nothing but Precious McGill. We up in here cooking with the rarest greases, Wholeness Wednesday. Listen, when we come forward, we going to the phone lines.
Let's do it.
He's on fire tonight. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black Detroit Mayor Mary Sheffield used her State of the City address to highlight new youth and neighborhood initiatives.
In many ways, Mumford's story mirrors Detroit's. The highs of prominence and the lows of decline.
She announced free bus rides for all K-12 students, a major increase in after-school funding, and new efforts to improve senior and affordable housing across the city. And NASA has officially launched Artemis 2 at 6:35 p.m. on a historic trip around the moon, marking the first crewed lunar mission since 1972. The mission lifted off from Kennedy Space Center with 4 astronauts on board, including Victor Glover, who is piloting and set to become the first black astronaut to travel to the moon. And Memphis police have placed 4 officers on leave after protesters were pepper sprayed and arrested during the No Kings demonstrations. Black Mayor Paul Young says the officers will remain off duty pending an internal investigation. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
Compassion sponsorship means food, healthcare, education, and most of all, being known, loved, and protected. There are thousands of kids waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Text the word radio to 83393.
At the tone, please record your message.
You ready?
Drop it!
Mr. Tavis Smiley, preach it. Thank you, man. Politics in this country is crazy. You put things in perspective that even I didn't. The right is playing fast and loose with facts and scapegoating everyone under the sun, especially black and brown people. As a white man, I do not agree with this, and I am on my black and brown brothers and sisters' side. Fight the good fight. Know that I am part of the resistance. Let's fight the power.
Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. At the heart of the Al Wooten Center's mission for good citizenship and academic excellence is a desire to ensure that every student avoids the kind of lifestyle and overcomes the kinds of challenges that led to the murder of Al Wooten Jr. In 1990, founder Myrtle Faye Rumpf opened the center in honor of her son's life. In 2026, they are serving more than 300 students in grades 3 through 12 annually online and on site at their youth center and other sites in the South LA area. The Al Wooten Jr. Youth Center takes a neighborhood approach to the revitalization and empowerment of a community in crisis. The Wooten Center provides free after-school and summer programs to help students in grades 3 through 12 attain grade-level proficiency and promotion, high school graduation, and college and career access and success. The Al Wooten Center focuses on academics, STEM, the arts, and so much more. Join them for an enriching experience that sparks creativity and nurtures young minds. Tap in at wootencenter.org. That's wootencenter.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk Radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
On a perfect day, I know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you ever afford? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me through the good times and bad times. She would always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain?
My inner teen is just angry and wants to flip a table, wants to just F you all, right? My survival adaptation as the overfunctioner, the one that masked, the one that appeared all together, seemed fine, went to academics, did well there. I did well in academics because that's what kept me safe. Now I'm an adult and I'm my own business person, and I have to figure out how to show up for myself instead of somebody else's business.
How does it feel?
It is so uncomfortable. I'm struggling. All these ADHD symptoms showing up, overstimulation, wanting it to be perfect, trying to perfectify it, and then the perfectifying it causes you to freeze and not do it.
Hey is Sav. Stands for Savannah. Hayat Sav. I love her work. She's out here cooking with the rarest grease, and that's why we're featuring her on The Voice of Reason. And she's bringing this point home. Does exposure and closure represent two sides of the same coin? In order to give someone you hurt closure, do you have to risk exposure, i.e. vulnerability? And if you're not healed, what type of Herculean task could that be? Gosh. You apologize.
Right.
While at the same time protecting the part of you that actually did it. I know people don't want to hear it put that way.
That's how it is.
You said it's not what I meant, but it is what you did. Right? You kept explaining because agreement felt safer than the truth. You do believe me, right? You know I would never do nothing to hurt you. I mean, not purposely. You know, come on. You know me. You negotiated perception instead of confronting reality. This is not, listen, I'm going to say it again. This is not to villainize anybody.
No.
This is part of the human nature. One thing you're going to get from this show, you're going to be able to recognize what you didn't have words for in relationships moving forward. If you listen to enough of these episodes, you're going to be able to go, huh.
Right.
Look at that. You're going to say, instead of saying, look at God, you're going to say, look at that.
Yeah.
There it is. 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. We have somebody on the line right now.
All right.
Are you ready to talk to them?
Yes.
Because this is Wholeness Wednesdays with the incomparable. Right? Yeah! You weren't misunderstood. You just partially revealed.
Right.
Oops!
Right.
The voice of reason is on fire. Attila from Houston, Texas is on the line.
Attila.
What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Niecy Poo.
Niecy
My two favorites.
Yeah, we up in here.
Yes. Yes. Well, first of all, it is phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Phenomenal change.
Amen.
Yes. Look, let me go ahead and post that real quick. But let me just say, though, this is a beautiful topic. And I agree with Auntie Precious about the closure. I don't believe in closure either. And I think what we're talking here is also, like, perception management.
Right.
But
perception management.
That's a perfect way to put it. Perfect.
Yes. Yes. And I say that because, like, I'm a former people pleaser. I'm still working on it. But I know this aspect, like, as part of, like, the fawn response, like, not wanting people to be upset with me or whatever. Right. I haven't really experienced this in regards to the closure part. Like, I think for me, like, I get upset to the point where the person probably don't even want to offer me closure. They're like, I'm scared. I ain't going to say nothing because I'll be seething. I'm upset. So they ain't going to say nothing. But I do think it's an interesting concept.
Right.
I love that.
Right.
You can't protect the mask when you're being vulnerable. You try, but this is how it comes across as fake. And women think, I know women can pick up on it. That's not in question. Women pick up on the fakeness. Bow, you lying.
Sometimes.
But I think what gets kind of pushed under the rug, men pick up on it too.
Yeah, they do.
We feel it in our body as well. Something's off.
Yeah.
You're not the authentic you that you normally are. We can pick that up too. Talk to us about that, Precious.
Yeah, it's like you said, it has to do with the mask. And if you feel like the person's perception of what occurred between you makes you a villain, that may be a sign of defensiveness within that you're not anticipating. Because if it's just completely bogus, a part of you would be like, let whoever think whatever, because that's
exactly
right. But when it's like, no, that's not what happened. This is what happened. It's that defensiveness that comes up that is an indicator that the ego is driving the bus.
So this is a question for both of you, Attila and my Precious. Could it be that in this ravenous desire, this rapacious desire to want to tell our side, that we don't get truthful about the part of telling our side that actually edits our leverage out of the conflict?
Yes. It's actually a fear of death.
Ooh, okay, let me move back. Go ahead.
It's actually fear of death. Because like I said, people will perish from being ostracized from community. This is why that they hold that perception so dear. And this is also why some people isolate, because they don't want the real person to be seen. It means that they're going to die. And it's an irrational fear, because there's some people that love you just the way you are.
And can see you.
And with seeing you.
Hi. I see
the real you.
The streaks.
Yeah.
You've got streaks now.
And I love you.
And it's fine. Come on over here. Take those off. Then we'll bring them in my house. But come on in.
Yeah. But they don't love themselves. Wow. And this is what's calling the dying feeling. And when you love yourself, you accept even the unclean edges, or stop judging it, okay? The edges that are not like everyone else expects them to be.
Stay right there. Don't go
And be
anywhere.
okay with
Stay right
upsetting
there.
people,
Wait,
too.
wait. Stay right there. Don't go anywhere. Houston, Texas is in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building, join this national discussion. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. We are on complete fire. Does closure equal exposure? When we come forward.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. Tackling the questions you're afraid to ask and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
My name is Tyrone Owens, and this is my home for 23 years that burned in the fire. Me and my wife, Charlene, we had this whole yard decorated every year.
This was the house that sparkled throughout the entire neighborhood on all the holidays. It's a community that will never be the same due to the negligence of a utility company. So I am pretty upset about that.
We were nowhere near being able to rebuild with our insurance. It's going to cost $1 million to put your house back up.
I want to get back to that point where we were before the fire. I'm starting to get emotional, but I'll work through it. LA Fire Justice has been wonderful for us. They're just caring people. I mean, we have all faith in them.
Big ups to LA Fire Justice, who's given us hope to rebuild 100%.
Advertisement. Douglas Foster, 221 East Walnut Street, Suite 100, Pasadena, California, 91101 is the attorney responsible for this ad.
LA Fire Justice is proud to sponsor Conversation Live, Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Getting around LA doesn't have to cost a lot. Metro has fares that fit every budget. 20 free rides for qualified riders through the Life Fare program. Free passes for students with GoPass and affordable options for everyone in between. Wherever you're going, Metro's got you covered. Visit metro.net/fare programs.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Created with a share of the 1984 Olympic Games surplus, LA 84 began operations in 1985 as a grant-making and educational foundation. Today, the LA 84 Foundation supports hundreds of nonprofit youth sports organizations throughout Southern California annually, trains coaches, commissions research, convenes conferences, and maintains the world's premier Olympic and sports library collection. They are transforming lives and communities through the power of youth sports. To find out about youth sports programs for yourself or your child, and to get information about the grants and support they offer to schools and nonprofits, or if you want to make a donation, please visit la84.org. That's la84.org. Or you can call them at 323-730-4600. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
You stayed awake half the night. Love was just, but if it changes.
Okay, Andy's showing out. I see what it is. We got company. Andy wants to show out. It's fine.
On your mind, you do
What do you call him?
No, his playlist has been cooking lately. And I'm jealous.
Listen, guys, you did not overreact. You finally reacted. And the people calling you dramatic are the same ones who benefited from your silence. You see, what they call overreacting is usually just the first time you stop swallowing the disrespect. The first time you said, no, we're not doing this anymore. The first time your voice got louder than their comfort. They were not mad at your reaction. They are mad that they lost control of the version of you who tolerated everything. For years, you've been coached by family, workplaces, partners to be reasonable, polite, and understanding. Translation, be quiet so we don't have to change. So when you finally show emotion, when your body says, I'm done being the landing strip for your chaos, they label it an overreaction because your boundaries disrupt their entitlement. And here's the truth nobody wants to admit, but I will. People who respect you don't fear your emotions. They don't weaponize your anger, and they don't use your voice as evidence that you're unstable. Only people who relied on your passivity panic when you reclaim your power. So no, you didn't overreact. You responded with a level of self-respect that they were not prepared for. And if your reaction shook the room, then good. Maybe the room need to shake it. I don't know.
Listen, who is the young lady speaking? I'm very interested to know. I am intrigued. I am drawn to her truth. Is her truth real? Oh, Tashandra Govan. We have her. Yeah, I like her. We got callers on the line. Attila, this is what I want you to do. Hold tight. I'm going to come back to you. We got somebody out of the country calling in right now.
Ooh.
We've got Zoe from Toronto.
All right.
That's Ontario, Canada.
Yes. Hey.
Zoe, what are your thoughts on tonight's topic, sweetheart?
Hello, greetings. Hey,
I'm so glad you called in.
You guys are talking about something I feel like I could relate to. And
Okay, wait. Before you get started,
Yeah.
I'm Zoe. You're Zoe.
Yeah.
That would make us ZZ. Andy, I'm gonna need you to
Don't
put
it feel
some ZZ Top in the background, some ZZ Hill, something with ZZ to express our compatibility on this line tonight. Oh no, okay, Zoe, go ahead and finish speaking, love. It's all good.
Yeah. When I see someone moving funny, my first inclination is to step away.
It's to who? I'm sorry.
Separate.
Step away. Step away. I naturally recognize patterns, and I will step away and kind of go through all the patterns that I've noticed. And then I will check with my intuition. And as I was saying before, maybe I didn't explain it properly. If I feel like that person, whatever the situation is one that merits me to use my voice to speak to them, whether it's through text, email, phone call, whatever it is, I will speak to them. If I feel like the situation, whatever it is, does not warrant me speaking to them or me speaking, people I deal with are adults, right? You know when you're doing someone dirty.
Yeah.
What is there to talk about?
So let me ask you a question. I think that's great to step away. It's some sort of self-preservation. But what then do you do with the knowledge that this person has presented themselves to you? What does this say about you? Even if it's an isolated incident, what is the spirit doing with you? Why are you the one presented with this opportunity to step away or whatever?
Isolated incidences are different. I deal with patterns. okay, so on November 13th, you did this. I said that to you. You said it wouldn't happen again. 1 month later, December 17th, you did that. I responded there.
Okay, and the question...
We had a discussion. You see what I mean? Like a pattern. It has to be a pattern.
So what does it mean for you? What is the spirit doing with you that you're the one that is having this experience where you recognize someone is presenting a pattern? What do you do with that?
For me, I'm coming from a space where Sorry, is that my phone?
No,
okay.
you're fine. You're fine.
Sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm coming from a space of people pleasing, right? So I'm coming from a space of where I used to have a lot of one-sided friendships and one-sided connections, and people used to play in my face.
So you're
Maturity
traumatized.
has taught me, no, I'm healed. Maturity has taught me to recognize when to leave the table. Right? So for me,
Okay, I hear it, but I hear something
doing
else.
doing a lot of shadow work, and I'm healing. I can't say I'm healed. I'm healing.
Okay, let's talk.
But naturally, for me, being a 12th houser, being a Pisces, I naturally will separate. Naturally, anyway, I'm always by myself. I'm just always. That's just me as a default setting. Right? But if I notice you're moving funny and I see a pattern, I am going to step away.
Yes.
Depending on how egregious the movements that you're doing are, I may say something, or you might just see me today and not tomorrow. Kind of like how Precious' screen is paused. It'll just be like that. Goodbye.
Yeah. So
I was going to say, it sounds a bit avoidant.
Yeah, because that's what I was trying to get to, because for the purpose of the topic, we're talking about the mirror. And so you have this proverbial table that you allow people to sit at or not. Why is the spirit allowing this repeated pattern, or this pattern that you're healing from, to present to you? That's what I'm saying. What about you is experiencing the pattern? Kind of like how I felt like I was very much healed from abandonment, and then I was abandoned by my therapist. I had to do the work around, why is this person coming? Why am I experiencing abandonment in this area of my life?
And Zoe, real quick, I want you to take a second and think about the question, because we're at the end of the hour. I want you to stay with us, because listen, your spirit is uplifting the show. I love it.
Yes.
Stay right there. Don't go nowhere. We going back to Toronto, ladies and gentlemen. The voice of reason on fire yet again.
Go, go, go.